Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Dr. Nick, and this is the 90s Guys Show. Today's a little bit different. I'm doing a driving video. I've got a little camera set up here in my car. Hands-free, of course. Today's video is not about wrestling. It's not about entertainment. It's not about anything. I just wanted to kind of give you an insight on the life of Dr. Nick for those 270 subscribers that subscribe to my YouTube channel. A lot of people, especially, my age, I turned 32 this month, March 26th, and it's still quite shocking to me being 31, turning 32 years old. And I never thought at being age 32 that I would be in the situation that I'm in. I mean, it's not a bad one. I have my own house. I have a good job. I have a reliable vehicle. I have good friends and family, things like that. So, don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining about any of that. But I guess the title of this video is what happens when you become single in your 30s. It's not what everybody thinks it is. It's not going out and hanging out with your buddies and partying. It's not about, meeting like 100 different women and being a ladies' man. It's not about that. It's not glorious at all. It's not fun. I mean, it is fun sometimes to, come home to your house, watch some Netflix, watch some professional wrestling. You get to basically do what you want, when you want. You don't have to answer to anybody. Like I said, I'm 31, going to be 32. I have no children. I've never been married. My last relationship that I had ended last year for reasons I'm not going to disclose. But what happens when you become single in your 30s is people look at you in a way as like you're broken or something. They look at you like you're an alien, because most guys my age have been married or are married, have at least 2 to 3 children, and I do not fit that mold. I have no intention on ever getting married. I have nothing against marriage. It's just I don't find it something that is for me. I don't ever plan on having children whatsoever. I have a dog who I consider to be my child. She's gonna be 5 years old in August. Her name is Zoe. She's a Pomeranian. I consider her to be my kid because I treat her like my kid. I love her like a child. So basically what it comes down to is things that you miss when you become single, especially at my age, is things that you never thought you'd miss. You miss things like being able to come home and talk to somebody about, how your day went, about whether it was good or whether it was bad. Just simple things like that. Things that you never thought would matter. Going to the grocery store by yourself is no fun. Planning meals and, making suggestions on food that you can get with each other was a lot of fun. Going to restaurants on occasions, when you wanted to, and having that person to sit there and talk to during your meal is probably one of the best things ever. And I don't have that anymore. I don't have that person to go with me to the grocery store, to, out to eat. Eating by yourself is miserable. I'll be honest with you. It sucks. Going to a restaurant and eating by yourself, it absolutely sucks. And I know it's just my anxiety and such, but it feels like when you do go, people are like looking at you like, why is that guy by himself? I have been to a couple of movies by myself, and that wasn't a lot of fun either. I've done that a couple times. The entire time, you're just sitting there all nervous, and you feel like a loser, to be honest. Holidays are really bad. Christmas, Thanksgiving, things like that. Those aren't exactly fun either. And then, of course, social media. Everybody on social media is in love, or has love, or is getting married and has children, and so on and so forth. And it's just a continuation of a reminder of, like, for instance, a lot of my friends are married. A lot of my people I went to school with are married. My close personal friends, a lot of them are married and have children. And it's almost as if, and I know this is a weird way of putting it, but it's kind of like the world passed me by a long time ago. The name The 90s Guy, I came up with that because that's basically how it describes me as a person. The 90s for me was not just about the music or the video games or the culture. It was a time in my life that I would love to go back to. I know that's not physically possible. I don't have a time machine. I don't have a DeLorean to go back in time and be able to do that. But the times were simpler. I went to school, I came home, I played the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Genesis. I watched my shows on Friday night, Family Matters, hang with Mr. Cooper, Full House, things like that. Cartoons on Saturday morning. Going to rent movies on Friday nights down at the local video store, or going to Blockbuster and renting video games. Getting a pizza with the family. Because, like I said, I live, on my own in my own house. And I never really thought that I would miss going to my actual home that I grew up in. When I go over there, I love going over there. I remember I moved there when I was probably 7 or 8. So I grew up from then on, in that house. But the house that I actually grew up in until I was about 7 or 8, I still remember a lot of good memories in that house as well. Holidays, birthdays. That's one thing I am not really looking forward to about my birthday is birthdays were always really special because, of course, my mom and dad, my brother, and my grandparents, both my grandmother and my grandfather would be there, and, we'd have cake and ice cream, and we'd, talk to everybody, and you never really think of things like that. I mean, I knew it was important, and I enjoyed it, but you have no idea how much you miss simple things like that when you get my age. You miss a lot of things, really. Even, simple things of, hanging out with your brother or playing video games, or when you meet him up at Buffalo Wild Wings to eat lunch or whatever. That right there is something that I value a lot too. So basically what I'm saying is if you're my age or younger, hold on to things like that. If you're still living at home, don't be ashamed of living at home. If you're a teenager, don't rush to grow up. I know you want to. You want to get your license, and you want to go to college, and you want to get out on your own because, your parents are a pain in the ass, according to you. I'll give you a big piece of advice, though. Your parents are right about a lot of things. I still learn things from both my mom and dad to this day. You may have rules that you think are stupid. They may, press things like, do your homework, go to school, brush your teeth, things like that. Those things are very important. But anyways, I know this is kind of a different video for me. I hope it wasn't too depressing. But, the best way for me to really get things off my chest and out there is to talk to the camera. So, like this video, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see y'all later.